Here he is from Southern California, live on Saturday night. The great, the one and only, incomparable, the myth, the legend, Morpheus himself, Mr. Byron Nelson.
How are you, sir?
I'm fantastic. What about yourself?
I'm being tested.
Yes, that's exactly what it's called. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Tested, man. I'm unbelievable. So for those if we just want to jump in the water, there's two things: either you're doing amazing or you're doing unbelievable. You wouldn't believe it. So write that down. You never have a bad day.
Nope. Just a bad
never
moment.
Make somebody else wrong. You just look at systems that are faulty and that don't work. But what I will say is, when it comes to multi-billion-dollar operations as we have within ACN and with the things that we have in place, just think about one of the things. And what you want to do is, especially in the leadership, what I want to do is I want to set your brain in motion to be able to understand that you're building a billion-dollar company within a multi-billion-dollar company. If in the last 5 years we did $4 billion, then the question really comes down to, how large do you think? Right? Is that making sense? Just not Jay, if you're with me. Jay, you with me? Julian, everybody with me? Okay. I mean, really, how big do you think? And how quickly can you get rid of distractions? How quickly can you tweak the system? How quickly can you actually, and it's really getting rid of the cogs that don't work, which start with inside your head. It really means decluttering everything that's in your brain. And that's the hardest thing to do. If you find anyone that gets to billion-dollar status, million-dollar status, hundreds of thousands of status, anything that has a comma in it past 5 figures, you'll find that the main thing is not the focus, but getting rid of the distractions. So hopefully you guys are taking copious notes on this. I'm going somewhere with this. I was training the other night, and I was sharing and quoting an extraordinary leader. If you want to get somewhere fast, go by yourself. You want to get somewhere far, have a crew. I'll say that again. If you want to get somewhere fast, go by yourself. You'll be the only one there. But if you want to go somewhere far, make sure you have a crew, and make sure that crew has your back, front, back, side, left. I mean, I was actually having a conversation in London today. I haven't been to bed. Probably I'm going on my 3rd day working on projects and putting this thing in play to really blow up some things that are really quite amazing within our opportunity, within our business, within our people. And as I was talking to this leader that is just amazing on a mammoth scale, he was just like, I want to be the weakest link in the chain. And I was like, I'm not understanding. He said, I'm already destined to be the greatest. So if I'm the weakest link in the greatest chain, how powerful would my circle be? It's an extraordinary conversation if you start to uncover it, right? He said, I want to be the weakest link in my chain, and I'm destined to be the greatest at what I do. But it takes a squad. So if I'm the weakest link, but the greatest at what I do, how powerful is my chain? Because we all understand the cliche that you're only as strong as the weakest link. So if you're the weakest link, but the most powerful at everything you're doing. And so I really want to tap into a couple of different dimensions here. Number one is understanding how simple. Let's simplify the business. I want you to think about it in your head. And those that are on feed already know where I'm going with this, and understanding expiration time, putting, stops and goes on your life. And I just put it up on my feed, Fruitful Education Every Day, and said, the one thing that humans and milk have in common is an expiration date. So if you knew that you had an opportunity that was only going to last you this year, ACN will not exist as of January 1st, 2022. But whatever amount of residual income you make you will be able to double that so long as it's over 5 figures. If you don't get to 5 figures in residual income, you get nothing except for what you earned during the year 2021. Now, what type of urgency would you apply in regards to your business now? Is that making sense? Are you guys following me on that so far? How much minuscule conversations would you have? How much time would you waste on people that aren't going where you're going? Let me say that again. How much time would you waste on people? I mean, everybody signed up for ACN. I don't believe anyone signed up for ACN to be an ETT, an ETL rather. I don't believe anyone signed up to be an RD. I believe they signed up to fulfill every one of their own personal dreams. If people were coming in and you knew God, you had a conversation with God. I am going to take it there. You had a personal conversation with God. And he said, is this what you really want? Is this really your why? Is this your purpose and intention in life? Is to do what you say you came here to do. Now he's asking you the question, knowing that God is all knowing. He's omniscient. He's everything, right? So he already knows your thoughts. And you're saying, yes, God, this is what I came here to do. He said, I just want to be clear because I need you to understand you signed an application, you came into ACN, and you would not have had the thought unless I allowed it. And it would not be possible unless I knew you can complete it. So the only one who can sabotage this and mess up my plans is you. Now, I don't know if it was Eve or Lucifer that talked you out of your dream to mess up your life. But everyone understands the conversation, push, pray until something moves, until something happens. Push, and you keep pushing, you keep pushing. But if you're having side conversations with Lucifer, side conversations with the devil, side conversations with people that are distracting you, that don't have purpose and intention in their life, that are just having a great conversation. I want you guys, I'm going somewhere with this. I really want you to understand this conversation. I truly believe that the people that are destined for greatness, destined to complete the mile, destined to show up where they're supposed to show up. That's why I love using John Q so much, because there's no way you're going to try and save your child or save your mother or save your father who's dying and entertain a conversation about having an old fashioned, or entertain a conversation about I need a vacation, or entertain a conversation about, I'm just trying to find myself, or entertain a conversation. Not if it's your child, not if it's your parent. Is this making sense? Not yet if this is making any sense to anybody. Yes or yes? So I want you to get this, because as I sat down and I'm talking to my team, I'm talking to my leaders. I said, I want to give you the one reason. What is the one reason that people don't get into your business? This is a leadership. Why is it that you've been in for a month, for 3 months, for a year, and you don't have double digits of people on call? You don't have 10 people. I don't know if it's you or not. This is just me letting God talk through me. If you've been in past 6 months, so if you're new, you get a pass. I'm gonna give you a pass. But if you've been in past 6 months and you don't have 10 people, this has nothing to do with title. This has nothing to do with ETL. This has nothing to do with RD. This has nothing to do with, I'm not talking about 10 people in your downline. I'm not talking about 10 people on your list. I'm not talking about 10 people that signed up over the last 6 years. Can you pick up the phone right now, put together a group text, and 10 people are all fighting for the same thing in your business? then you need to take a really hard look in the mirror and ask yourself, who am I not being? Who the hell am I? If my job description as a leader is to serve, then I haven't served anybody. Then I'm a liar to say that I'm a leader. So let's have some real coffee here. Let's just have a truth serum conversation. I'm not who the freak I say I am. I lie to everybody. Oh, you're known at your job? That's not your company, but you're just a high priced slave. Slavery has nothing to do with color. Black, white, Puerto Rican, Asian, Mexican, Latino, whatever the hell you are, you're a slave waiting for somebody to write you a freaking check for you to show up when they tell you to show up, get off when they tell you get off. Some of you have switched while you've been in this company, 2-3 companies, 2-3. You may have the same job occupation. You've changed 2 or 3 different institutions in your same job title. That means, God, I wish I could say that. Ooh, Jesus. I'm going to say it in a nice way, politically correct. You're a house Negro. You're a yes person. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. What time do I need to show up, sir? What time do I gotta get up? Please don't whip me, sir. Please don't take out any more time. Please don't give my job to somebody else, sir. Please don't oversee me in the next promotion, sir. Can I get into the house? Can I get some more benefits, sir? Ma'am, please treat me a little bit better. Government, can you give me some more benefits? Can I get some more PPP? Can I get something? AAA, Maybe I just get an AAA. I'm just Alcoholics Anonymous. So maybe I need that. I need some more alphabet. What's going to piss you off? Because I'm a firm believer that you cannot succeed until you're pissed off. Not at someone else, but at yourself. There are things that have transpired in the last 30 days, even in the last 24 hours, 48 hours. And when I tell you, I was so pissed at myself, counting on someone else to do things that I knew I could do for myself. How could you be pissed off at someone else who didn't do what they were supposed to do that you know you can do? Well, you waiting for somebody to take you to RD? You waiting for somebody to take you to RVP? Oh, I didn't lose the grid. I know exactly where I am in the conversation. Let's go backwards. So where this started from. As I was asking my leaders and my teammates, I said, do you know the one reason people don't get in your business? And I get all kinds of answers. I don't have an upline. All my friends are broke. All the people I know are at my job. I work all the time. And you really need to reiterate in your writing and in your notes that you can't make excuses and money at the same time. You really need to buy in and listen to your conversation as to why am I not where I need, want? You might want to write this down, by the way. Why am I not where I need, want, and deserve to be in life? Why am I not where I need, want, and deserve to be? Don't you believe you deserve to be in a better place in life? Don't you believe you deserve the best of everything and everyone in your life? Never to be questioned. I can tell you about Mr. Al Thomas and myself and many others that have joined the call that are leaders. they underestimate the ones that have arrived at a place that others haven't. See, I am actually willing, me being Al and several other leads. I can't see those on because I'm on my phone, so forgive me. I can only see like 4 people on my phone. I am very clear about myself and Mr. Al Thomas and any top producing RVPs. Notice I didn't say RVPs. I said top producing RVPs in top producing or achieved SVPs. Because write this down, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. We are willing to lose everything to get everything. I really am willing to lose everything and everyone short of my son and my mom and my relationship with God. I really have no problem losing everything. Money, materialistic things, people. Because as you become in this journey, the leader that you need to become, you will find out there's a very, you gotta be able to really learn how to identify the false prophets, the false friends, the false affiliates. I actually love unconditionally. I don't have a condition. If I love a person, I don't care what happens. I want them to succeed. I just had this conversation last week. I had one of my closest people in my organization who's been dormant for about 6 years call me and tell me, because I'm so close to you, I wanted to let you know that I'm working in other business, but I haven't left ACN. I said, that's your conversation and story in your head. He said, but what I'm doing has so much least resistance or less resistance than ACN. I said, that's another lie you told yourself. She said, no, I said, let me ask you a question. Have you ever worked with me? Your sister died. You went through challenges in the house. You put together some other systems and projects that you had to go all the way back to your native land. You told me and asked me to wait for you and that you would never leave. I'm not leaving you. I haven't left. I know how great you can be. That's why I left the door open. I don't leave the door open. When I close the door on somebody, I never need to see them again in my lifetime. I'm so serious about that. Because that means either they aren't growing or they're toxic. You can write that down. That is my prescription for deletion. They aren't growing or they're toxic. In most cases, both of those line up in a little city. It's an amazing, popular city called Selfish. Me, how I feel, what I believe, what I did. This is, I got this coming. I got that coming. You know, I don't need you. It's all about them. True leaders, all I want to do is see everybody win. I said, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to support your business because I would have anyway. What's pissing me off is not that you went to another company. I've been doing this for 26, 27, going into my 27th year. I understand 99% of the people over the course of time will not be here. I don't do this with the expectation of anybody except for me to be here. What I'm pissed off about is that you would call me and lie about it. Lie about you, lie about, you've never worked with me. Just because you're on Mr. Al Thomas's calls, just because you put together, you know, his posts, just because you host this call, just because you're helping another RD, just because you help another RVP, just because you're participating as the greatest booster supporter of a professional player does not make you a committed player. You aren't doing anything to help win the championship except make another person's life easier because you haven't decided to win yourself, which means you now, by lying about saying that you want to put on a jersey, but you keep bringing water bottles, become a liability. I don't know if anybody's getting this conversation. But I've been triggered and triggered. And I'm telling you, it's like one of the things, and I want you guys to get the insight. I'm not here to beat you up and bash you. I'm here to wake. Is anybody getting awoken here? This is called the awakening. It's just a wake up call. It's just to wake you the freak up. Because, and I'm going to use just for the moment and just for the second, your job is to bake a cake. What do I mean by that? That means your job is to develop a leader. That's your job. That's what we are. We develop leaders. We don't make leaders. We don't pick leaders. We find the one who wants to be the leader the most, and we develop them. So if the cake that we're baking, that we're developing, going somewhere with this, stick with me on this, does not rise, does not come out right, here's what most people do. I'm not going to say you. I'm not going to say me. I'm not going to say us. I'm going to say what most people do. They go in, they sign the application, they come into the business to be a baker. They bring in one or two people, which is the biggest mistake. Cody, you've been in past 3 months and you've only baked 2 cakes. Not that you only baked 2 cakes, you've only attempted to bake 2 cakes. That's the tragedy. That's the crime. You've only attempted to bake 5, 6, 7 cakes, but you want to call yourself a leader. You want to call yourself a baker. You want to call yourself, this is what I want. This is my why. This is my dream. You talk to all these people over a period of time. It becomes watered down and saturated. And I'm going somewhere with this. And in that, the cake doesn't bake the way you want it to. And you sit there and keep trying to make that one cake. You're like, okay, it came out flat. It didn't fluff. Well, you put the same cake back in the oven. How stupid is that? That you're still trying to play with the same cake 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years later. You know what Mr. Al Thomas does? He bakes a cake. It goes flat. All right, throw it away. He bakes a cake. It tastes nasty. Throw it away. He bakes a cake. This is how you launch a new person in the business. You keep launching. I don't focus on the person. Listen, Linda, write this note down. I don't focus on the person. I focus on the skill set. The reason why you never learn how to bake is because you never focused on becoming the baker. You focused on the cake. Cake representing that new rep you just brought in. Well, who told you to go and try and replace flour with starch? You keep messing up the cake. I kept starting a person and a person would come in and they quit. And I was like, why are they quitting? A person come in and they wouldn't get qualified. Why aren't they qualified? A person come in, they wouldn't go to the convention. Why aren't they going to the convention? A person would come in, they go ETT and they get comfortable. Why are they stuck at ETT? A person would come in and they actually bring in one person and get excited and not be qualified to even get paid off that person. What the hell? And I kept looking. I was like, I just have the wrong people. I even hear RVP say I have the wrong person. God, I want to curse so bad. No, stupid, you are the wrong person. It's got nothing to do with them. You got all these commingling friendships going on and relationships going on. And hey, I'm not throwing darts at you. I'll be the first to tell you, I was the criminal of all crimes in that territory. Befriending everybody, dating everybody, thinking that I'm in college, thinking this is a social club. The freak. Until you decide to get a degree and graduate, can you practice in your craft? Let me say that again. until you graduate. The first graduation from high school is called RVP. The second graduation from university that allows you to get paid in full is SVP. I don't know why people make this a permanent student. Like I'm just a permanent, I'm just gonna go to college for, I'm just gonna go to ACN University for the next 6 years, the next 10 years. Like I ain't got jack else to do with my life. I'm still working, paying my way through college. And when they quit, they're like, oh, I put all this money into ACN. No, you did, you stupid. That's just preposterous. That's just a jackass. You went to school that only needed 2 years of work, part-time, focused, uninhibited work, turned it into a 6-year project, having graduated, and keep buying the books, keep showing up to class and never do the homework. Now, what did I ask? Let me think about that again. My question was, why is it that people don't get into my business? My business being yours, yours being mine. I figured it out. I know why people don't get into my business. Because they don't believe me. Me being you. They don't believe you. You're a liar. You're a fake. You're a fraud. You don't even have to prove anything to believe. I had a conversation. I'm coming back to this conversation, which is some. I had the most amazing day with my mom today. And she was reminiscing because her memory keeps coming and going at 83. She said, my favorite story about you. She gave me 2 or 3 others. And we just laughing and we have a great time when we get in that space. And she said, you were in, this is a true story, by the way. I was in kindergarten. I was in kindergarten. A few of my leaders know this story. I was in kindergarten and my family didn't have much. We came from the hood. We didn't have anything. My family, I really do mean my family's the Jeffersons. We kept moving up. My parents, the first one to go to university, and me and my sister, the second. And so and then my mom went to night school running 2 jobs. My father did the same thing. It took him forever, but nobody asked you how long it takes you to get your MBA and your doctorate and your degrees. Once you get it, nobody asked me how long it took me to get to SVP. All they know, nobody asked Al Thomas how long it took him to get to SVP. They asked how long will it take me? Everybody has their own journey. 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 And so I'm sitting there and I'm looking, and my mom said, I'll never forget. It was probably one of the happiest moments of your life was when you were in kindergarten. And why she said that is because we went to the bank today and we had things to do. And a 10-minute bank meeting turned into a 45-minute meeting because I'm that person that just, I want to know you. I want to know about you. And write this down. I just learned and mastered the art of being more interested than interesting. And this guy is in charge of investments and mortgages statewide. And I'm like, I mean, he's a beast, and a Pakistani guy, he tells me his history, and he's talking to my mom saying, are you sure it's okay that I sit here and talk to your son? And it's like, I'm just happy to meet you and him and see who he is through you and be able to serve you guys at the same time. And so he's doing all kinds of miracles for while we're there. That's for another day. But when we came home, my mother was just like, I didn't expect to have such an amazing time going to a car wash in the bank with you. And it just keeps reminding me who you are. And it's just, she just loves seeing her little boy who never grew up. He's like, you've always been this kid And you have been always been the most misunderstood kid by the wrong people. And she reminded me in kindergarten when we had nothing, literally nothing in Compton. And my father paid the highest price to put me in a white school. Back then, it was a whole different conversation. And I was one of only a couple of Black kids there. And it was Halloween. And in Halloween, and this is a bigger training for another day, maybe Mr. Al Thomas will have me back on to really expand upon uncovering you, because you're an onion and your ass is living on the surface. You need to get to the core and stop playing weak and shallow. But in that, it took me a minute for me to get there. And I'm sitting there and my mom, she was crying when I was a child. I'll never forget it. I couldn't have been more than 6, 7 years old. And she was just like, I want to get you your outfit for Halloween, but we can't afford it. And this many years later, I remember that moment. And it was at that moment that everything changed. And I didn't recognize it until I got into my teens. So she did this. Back then, there was an old CVS that was called Save-Ons. They had blueberries or something like that. But we went to Save-Ons, and she bought some girl stockings, some green stockings. And it was a contest. So I really wanted this one outfit, and my parents couldn't afford it. A Halloween costume. So she had enough to buy these stockings. My mom came home, crawled up the tree. We had an avocado tree in our backyard. Now today, now that I'm remembering it, I'm thinking those leaves were like giant leaves, but being adult, they weren't. But as a child, 6, 7 years old, those little leaves look like they're giant. So my mom's pulling all these leaves off the tree. I'm like, what the hell is she doing? She went in and she sewed up an entire outfit with these stockings and these leaves and a leotard. And I went in that day as Peter Pan, and I came in first place. It changed everything. I became Peter Pan that day. All I want to do is have fun, keep people young, have enough abundance and imagination to create our own Never Never Land. And anyone who knows me knows that's my heart. If it gets too serious, somebody better be dying. And at that moment became the entire myth and legend of me building my dynasty. What you guys are missing is the art of imagination. It is the key element of any extraordinary leader, of being able to create a vision. And when you find someone like an Al Thomas or other like Ray Prophets or other people that have a vision. See, I heard the vision of changing a Black community, of changing Latin and Black and brown, of changing the ghettos of the world, of being able to change a legacy, creating a family tree that a branch turns into an oak wood tree. That's a story for another day, that you could actually become so large and create so much wealth that you can change anybody's life, and it becomes a ripple effect. And if you get enough people around you, including your Tinkerbell, which is my Erica Yancey, with enough fairy dust, that you can, if you truly, if you remember the last one, Peter Pan that was done, if you just learned how to believe. And I bought the lie that you can be wealthy here. I bought the lie that if I got 100 customers, that I could be a leader. I bought the lie that residual income could change my, and why am I saying I bought the lie? I want you to get that. Because everything in your life is a lie until it becomes the truth. Listen to what I'm saying. You say, I'm going to become a doctor. Nobody believes you until you become a doctor. You haven't even gone to med school. You want to become Michael Jordan. I'm going to be the best player in the world. He had to keep lying to himself until he made the world understand his truth. Whatever you do, it's the lie that programs the subconscious that becomes your truth. My truth became wherever I go, I can open up markets. Wherever I go, I'm the most loved and infectious person you'll ever meet. Wherever I go, if I touch you being Peter Pan, your life will never be the same. How's that going to happen? I don't know. I just know that I have the touch. I was born to change lives. That was my lie that became my truth. And every life that wanted to be changed for the right reasons, which is why I have people in and outside of ACN balling out of control, living amazing lives. Why would you make Al Thomas your friend before you decided to learn how to get wealthy? He can still be your friend, but that's second. I learned how to build a family because Peter Pan, his family didn't have his family. He built his own family. I don't need another RVP. I didn't need another SVP. I didn't need another organization. I needed an example. And that's what this platform gives you. It is an example. You want to be women's empowerment? Then be a women's empowerment. Stop talking about I'm a women's empowerment movement and I'm empowered and I don't need a man or I can do this on my own or we're going to change the world or female power and you a lonely ass woman. And the same thing happens for the man as well. You don't got nobody following you. That's taking a long ass walk. That's not leadership. That's a mouthpiece filled with lies, wanting everybody else to buy the lie you lied to yourself about because you don't have the courage to become who you need to become. Why don't people get into your business and stay in your business and grow in your business? Because you don't believe. You don't believe. And the crazy thing is, it's not a matter of believing in ACN. You don't believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, how could you expect anybody else to believe you? I've met some of the most amazing liars. Amazing. I used to be one. I'm not ashamed to be transparent. I used to be one. I saw one of the greatest posts the other day. You know what it said? It had a quote. It said, people, and this is what the people said. He said, it said, people act. I've met so many men and women that act. Listen to what I'm saying. Even if you aren't of Christian faith, you're going to get this conversation. They act like they're Christian. Now, the backdrop of that conversation is, Lucifer was the greatest, angel and silver-tongued person. He knows the Bible better than anybody short of Jesus. And he was the prettiest thing that ever was created. And he used that for his own agenda, as so many people do. I'm scared of people who say, I'm going to church, I'm reading the Bible, and shut up. I've seen more devils in the church than I've seen that don't go to church. But I want to finish the quote. And the quote went like this. I've seen people, so many people, that act like they're Christians. And underneath that code, you know what it said? It was the quote from God. I'm not looking for actors. It's an amazing conversation. And when you understand a belief system And you don't have to even have 100% belief in yourself. Just believe that you deserve more than what you currently have. Just believe that you're greater than who you are. Just be transparent in the conversation. I sat down. I'm sitting down with Pat. Pat's like, so what you up to? I'm changing my life. I'm changing my income and I'm changing my address. She said, so how you gonna do all that? I'll be transparent. I don't have a freaking clue, but would you like to come along? Do you know how powerful that is? Y'all sitting up here talking about gigawatts, fiber optics, telecom, residual income, and you haven't tasted one. Don't tell me about making $1 million and you still broke. Don't tell me about you know about freedom and you still working. Don't tell me you know about building a team and you by yourself. My leaders were asking Sway and Maya, and they were asking, well, how do you get people to launch in this business? I mean, how do you launch them? I'd used the metaphor because I want to make sure you guys get it, because there was more than one that asked this question about baking the cake. How many cakes are you going to bake this week? How many people are you going to launch and mess up on? Stop worrying about the damn cake and worry about your skill set. Launch somebody else, 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 launch somebody else. The right person, you don't know who they are. You can't even find them. They'll find you. The right person, you're just the messenger. You have nothing to do with somebody going SVP in this company. You have nothing to do with somebody going RVP in this company. You have nothing to do with somebody going RD in this company. Guess what? A person that's going to finish them out, they were going to finish it without you. The leaders I brought in this business, I had nothing to do but being able to hold up a flashlight and say, this is a shorter path. They were already going to find their way to where they were going. The minute you think you had something to do with somebody doing something, you done freaked up the game. Because you done missed the entire essence of learning how to develop a skill set, how many free throws. I mean, if you just listen to any interviews on Kobe of how many hours he put in on his craft, Jordan, how many hours he put in, Tiger Woods coming back 10 years later, winning on the #1, how many hours great people put in on doing the same thing over and over and over and over. How do I talk to somebody? Talk to somebody else. Well, they didn't get it. Why are you worried about what they got? Talk to somebody else. If you talk to somebody every day, you're talking to 2, 3, 4, 5 people every day, and you are not worried emotionally about how they respond, you're going to figure out what to say. That's what the people that make millions in anything, all they do is stay on that course and do it over and 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 over. This is definitely going to need a part 2. This wasn't even part of my conversation, but this was the God guided this conversation. This is leadership. The game that I'm playing is sticking with it's easier to run with 3 than to drag 1,000. The game that I'm playing is how many people can Peter Pan take into that national on March 20th? How many people can I outwork, since I know, well, if I open up the call and I ask every one of you, with the exception of a handful of people I know that Mr. Alan Thomas has his hand on, and a few people I know on the call, there's literally a few. How many people have talked to 100 people in the last week? I didn't say get 10 in. How many people got 15 people in? How many people talked to 100 people and failed 100 times? And I promise you, it would be less than a 2-finger count. And you know why I can outproduce 99% of the company in 20 days of March? Because I will outwork everybody. I'm not more talented. I'm not more skilled. I don't have a silver tongue or some magic dust. My type outside of this company, nobody knows what the hell an SVP is. Hi, how you doing? My name is Byron Nelson. I'm an SVP. What the hell is that? Hi, I'm an RD. Are you stroking yourself in your own company with people who are already in the business? How stupid does that sound? That you want to have an audience with everybody who's already in the business, that you want recognition and acknowledgement from people who are already in the business for getting a title that you got in the business to get away from. That's just ridiculous to me. I don't even want to know nobody like that. That's just stupid to me. That's why I said the older I get, the less I like people. All I know how to do is produce results. You produce results. Everybody has a sign on their head. You know what that sign says? I want to be acknowledged. You know how you get acknowledged? You outproduce everybody else. You don't have the most tantalizing conversation, the most intelligent conversation, the greatest training. Oh, I'm training for Korea. Oh, I'm training for the Latin marketplace. Oh, I'm training for, oh, I'm training for, I have a women's empowerment. Are you training? What the hell? How are you training somebody you haven't produced jack? You actually promote yourself 1,000 times more than you've talked to anybody. I see flyers on people and conversations on people over the last 2 years. People are they are so self-promoted and haven't put in any work. You know how I want to see my promotion? In my freaking bank account. That's my promotion. I don't need nobody to know my name. I don't need nobody to give me another applause in my lifetime. I don't need any recognition. I don't need nobody to give me another hug. If you do what you're supposed to do by 1 or 2 or 3 people, you will get more love and recognition for that person and their team than you can pay for in a lifetime. If you're a billionaire, let me tell you something. Renata and Boris, I could pay, honest to God, $10 million, $20 million, $50 million, and it would not touch the marketing and promotions that those two and that team does for me. $20 million could not match me investing in 2 people to build a dynasty to be number 1 for the last 5 years. What I did for Daniel Dimitrov, what I did for Efren Tejada, the list just keeps going. The people that I poured into will make your life and your name live on beyond 5 lifetimes because of how you made a difference in someone else's life. But you're so caught up in your own web and life and chaos and drama and emotions and thoughts that you miss the mark of the job description you actually employed yourself for, which was to make a difference in someone else's life. I'm reading another book. I watched another video. I'm getting on another call. I had an epiphany. I found myself. I life just got in the way. Life got in the way. What are you talking about? What are we talking about? You're going to have to get the courage to cut some people out of your life. I hope it's not yourself. You're going to have to take a hard inventory of yourself and figure out why you're here, what your belief is. Do you believe? Do you really believe? Because see, I believe I'm Peter Pan. I really do believe I am Peter Pan. My workouts, I'm at freaking 12% body fat. My prayers, I talk to my God every day, all day, praying for even the people that hate me and the people I've deleted out of my life. I pray for every one of them every single day. I pray for them. My mind, dangerous as all heaven. The most dangerous mind I know. next to Miss Al Thomas, of course. My finances, I can't talk money on this call, but let me tell you something. I've made a lot of money, and that's a relative term of what a lot is. Let me tell you what I'm doing in 2021. I will make more. I have already in just this last 2 months, but I will make more in 2021 than I did from 2010 to 2020. I'll say that again. I will make more money this year than I did from 2010 to 2020. And it came from a belief. When you believe, when you really believe, it's easy to get rid of things, objects, people, distractions, because you don't care. You just don't, it's like you just don't care. You have an attitude that just becomes so lethal. My God is too big. I will kill somebody, pray and ask God for forgiveness and move on. It's happened in the Bible many times. I'm really okay with it. He saved a lot of murderers in the Bible. Okay. But I share this as I'm closing out in these last few minutes here, because I didn't even get to the piece I want. Hopefully, Mr. Al Thomas have me on next Friday. I think are you having me on next Friday? Can I finish this on next Friday? Okay. I apologize, by the way, for my absence over the last couple of weeks. I have been shredded in so many different directions. Um, crazy, crazy, how people major in the minors of stuff that means nothing 6 months later. And there's so many life-threatening situations on the table. And I was having a conversation with my partners. I'm going to challenge you guys this. I want to challenge you. Instead of talking about Grant Cardone, instead of talking about Gary Vee, instead of talking about Tony Robbins, I want you to find someone in this college. And I don't care if you're in my downline. It could be Swam Maya. They know how much I love them. I don't care if they choose Al Thomas. I don't care if Chris goes past Daniel and finds Aaron Burke. I want you to find someone that has a vested interest that you can touch, that you can reach, that you can talk to, that you can get on their call. And I want to hear you edify them the way you edify someone who doesn't give a damn whether you get rich or not. I hear leaders talking about all these. I'm like, I pour. If that person has your full attention, you need to go work with them. If I'm pouring into Natasha, Natasha and her husband, I better be the second coming and the Black Jesus walking. Because it's an ebb and flow. If I hear Caroline or if I hear Natasha blowing me up, guess what I naturally have to do? Not unconsciously. They've talked so good about me. I have to talk great about them. And if we're talking great about each other and we're having conversations for the next 90 to 120 days, we become a household name, and production you can't fight that aura. You can't fight that energy. I did a post yesterday about Mr. Al Thomas. I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to be over, and I really got to go. I called him because I have a lot of personal stuff going on. I mean, crazy. And I went to bed at 5 knowing I needed to be on the call. And I had such a tremendous 2 days before, just like I have in the last 48 hours. My days are running over into days. And that's not a negative thing. Even though I will take all your guys' prayers, that's not a negative thing. It's not all like bad stuff. It's just God has me working. God has me working. I am so sold out on God. That's why you guys keep hearing me on the conversation. Everybody else, I'm sold out. Done. And when we let people down, and this was in my piece as well, when we let people down, we have this guilt conscience. And as a child, when you miss something or you miss class or you forgot something, you're used to people making you wrong. Does that make sense? You guys follow me on this stuff? You're supposed to pick up your wife at work and you forgot. You're used to it. And he gave me the biggest epiphany of life, of living life in the right lane, building a big enough credit line. This is more knowledge for you. You might want to write this down. You need to build a large enough credit line with important people that are as great as you or greater. And Mr. Al Thomas, in my eyes, I felt like I let my big brother down and all of you down. And I mean, I even called a Jabri. I was like, I had this massive guilt conscience at 11 o'clock. I was like feeling like shit. But when you put in as much positive, I believe that I have and built that credit line, and you just miss one payment, it doesn't mess with your credit. Because that's not my MO. I don't miss. And he so embraced me and loved on me and was like, what are you talking about? He didn't even give it a second thought. He was just like, okay, so how about Saturday? And how about, hey, and that's when you know you have the right people around you. Because I'm going to tell you guys, this goes way beyond ACN. You guys have people around you that if you drop the ball just on going out to dinner, drop the ball just to be able to have a phone call, drop the ball because they didn't text you back, drop the ball that you woke up and you actually put something on social media before you call somebody that will guilt your ass into hell, that are stalking you and watching yours this. And I'm telling you, get rid of everything and everybody that does not resonate in the highest frequency of love, compassion, and empowering and building up and wanting to see you win and has a pom-pom in each hand and is still working right next to you, not sitting in the stands saying, I will get out there. What do we need to do? You ready to run? Let's run again. Let's run again. Let's run again. You didn't fail. Maya's way. I got a whole lot of people in here I could use as an example, but obviously that's my project right now. Maya has such a guilt conscience. She's pregnant. Alicia, she's pregnant. Alfredo and his wife, they just had a baby last week, and they're like, I'm sorry, I got a call, text back from Friday. They're feeling like, oh, I don't want to. And Alicia's done this many. I don't want to let you down. Ty is like, oh, Mr. No. I'm not here to beat nobody up. I got you. Let's get up and go again. When you got somebody who wants to run with you, messing up is part of the process. I get excited when people freak up. Get rid of that conscience of messing up and know that's the best thing you could do. You can't let me down if you standing with me. If we fight in the same war. If we ready to lock arms. If you're going to be my confidant and I'm going to be your confidant, not my comrade, not my constituent, but my confidants. People that have, like I said with me and Miss Al Thomas, an unconditional love that I can see and I know your heart. I don't have to worry about if I'm in this space, and it's not the right space. I don't, and I really, it's got really bad in this season of my life. 1% of doubt and you're out. If I have to think twice about the character of a person in my life, they may not have ever done anything wrong. But if I got to think twice, just even if it even looks suspect, I don't want them in my life. And I'm sure I will lose a lot of great people because of it. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't need a lot of people. Remember, I said me being you, you being me. We don't need a lot of people. You need the right people, like a Mr. Al Thomas, and many people on this call, like Dave, and many other people on this call. I could go down. I just can't see everybody. There's people I could call out that will stand. I'm not here to beat you up for what you didn't do. I'm here to wake you up for what you haven't done. I'm here to push you out the nest. I'm here to push you over the ledge because I know that you're an eagle. I know you have wings. Your ass is supposed to be flying. Stop sitting on the sideline. Yes, I'm going to scream at you. I'm going to yell at you. I'm going to curse your ass out. I'm going to push your ass over the ledge because I freaking love you. If I didn't love you, you would never get another call, text, or you would never hear your name out of my mouth ever again in my lifetime. If you're looking for somebody to just, if you just want love, you came into this business because you want to be loved, go get you a damn dog. Get out of this business. Because I'm going to kick you. I'm going to bite you. We going to fight. Last lesson. Me and Troy, I'll never forget. And this is the last lesson I shared on the last call. Last lesson, I'm going to shut it down. I got to go. And you guys got to go. Me and Troy, when I said this in a call, when people come together, and I said, come together, like if we took this whole room of everybody, and I said, find an accountability partner. Go find Samuel. Go get, go get Freddie. Go find an accountability partner. The unfortunate thing, and I see it happen 99.9% of the time when rooms break out and they do trainings, you find your law of attraction. I found Susie, and Susie's a single mother, and I'm a single mother. I found Jess. She got divorced, and I got divorced. I found Dee Dee, and I found Christine, and we both just broke up in a relationship. Men ain't shit. We have so much in common, and we just can't find the right man. It's, anyway. And I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at everybody had a law of attraction. You guys follow me on that so far? And the law of attraction. I'm telling you, the most powerful thing you could do is get you an accountability partner. And here's the secret behind an accountability partner. That's just really messing with my brain. There's nobody around me for like 100, 200 feet. There's only one person here in the lobby. Nobody is here. He's off. The other security guard who's real nice, he's just sitting over there quiet. Nobody's in here. It's the craziest shit I ever saw. What the fuck? Right. Understood. Yeah. I'll explain that to you too. So yeah, I got you, fam. So in that, what happened, find the accountability partner that is completely opposite of you. Please write that down. Me and Troy we are completely oil and water. But we had a common mission, a powerful goal. He is an A-type, crosses his T's, dots his I's, hates being late, will be there 20, 30 minutes early, keeps his word. Character is the highest of ever on the planet. I am a creative being. I like flying in. I'm colorful. I love loving on people. You guys follow me on that so far? I can see colors. I can see rhythms. I can see the good in somebody and pull out that greatness in them without being abrasive, without pushing them too far, but just enough. And we would clash all the time. But we built this business, and we built other businesses that have generated millions because we respected the code of the destiny, the destination. We enjoy clashing because we made each other better. We weren't looking for like-minded people, like souls, someone that was just like me. We found someone who had a common future, not a familiar past. I hope that served everybody well. I am complete. I will be on next Friday.
Yes,
I
sir.
will be on Monday, whatever you guys need. I would love to get the feedback on this from everybody. Please hit me up or hit Mr. Al Thomas up or the rest of the leaders to know my only purpose of this call is that if somebody, like what I know Samuel did and Mr. Al Thomas, change. If I wanted something to shift, I'm not here to make you feel good. I want something to piss you off, that you tonight do something different, not tomorrow. That you made a decision before getting off this call that you will never be the same person ever again.